In this video, we're going to use ChatGPT to provide some technical instructions to our customers. And so let's come up with an example scenario. And this is a relatively common one. Maybe we are requiring our customers to use multi-factor authentication to sign on to our platform. And in this case, let's just assume it's an online banking platform. Now, we might have some significant pushback from our customers that don't understand why it's important to enable multi-factor authentication. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to ask ChatGPT to give us some help in explaining the importance of this change to our customers, and especially the customers who are not particularly tech savvy. We want ChatGPT to compare this to an ATM card and a PIN, which is a very well-known example of multi-factor authentication. So let's try this first prompt out in ChatGPT. And as you can see in this example, I'm using ChatGPT version 3.5, the free version of ChatGPT. And what it's done here is it's come up with an explanation that we could provide to our customers. And it's done so, it looks like, in a relatively friendly tone here, comparing a multi-factor authentication device to a PIN and an ATM card. And so if you're working for a bank and you're about to send an email or a chat interaction to a customer, you might want to look through this and do your own little edits, but it gives you a great starting point. And again, that's what we're shooting for here. We just want to get a good starting point, get most of the content created for us, and then put our own little touches on it. Let's take a look at another example of a prompt that we might potentially use here. And this one's a little bit more complicated. Here we want ChatGPT to provide us with step-by-step instructions that show how to set up Google Authenticator on a smartphone. So here we've gone back to ChatGPT 3.5. and I'm putting that prompt into ChatGPT, and it's providing me with the steps required to use Google Authenticator. So if I'm helping customers to set up multi-factor authentication, there's a very good chance that many of them will be using Google Authenticator. Now I've got simple step-by-step instructions that I can provide to those customers. So if we have technical questions that potentially could be resolved with an internet search, those are the types of technical questions that ChatGPT and Gemini and Copilot are going to help us with. Now, if I've got some kind of technical question that refers to proprietary information or sensitive data or something that's on our own internal systems, ChatGPT isn't going to help me with that at all. Now, later on in this course, we will learn about tools that can help with that. In most of our demos up until now, we've been using ChatGPT, and for many things, ChatGPT works just fine. But there are certain limitations to ChatGPT that some of these other solutions do not have. And so here we are in ChatGPT, and I'm going to ask ChatGPT version 4, what is your knowledge cutoff? Basically, what is the most recent information that you know of? And you can see the knowledge cutoff is April 2023. Well, right now it's April 2024. So all of the data that ChatGPT version 4 has access to is at least 1 year old. And here you can see I've asked Microsoft Copilot the same question. You can see the knowledge cutoff here is September of 2021, but I'm not using the professional version of Copilot, so that's going to impact that knowledge cutoff date. Let's take a look at Gemini. And when I ask Gemini, it says I don't have a specific knowledge cutoff date in the way that some other large language models do. The information it accesses is constantly changing, and it does take some time to learn about newer events. And just to prove it, I just asked Gemini about a basketball game that happened last night. The Celtics played the Bucks last night, and the Celtics lost, and Giannis Antetokounmpo left with a leg injury. And so Gemini has information that is really up to date here that I can get access to right away. And so the reason that I mentioned that is because we're going to try out Copilot for this particular exercise. And you may want to try multiple solutions for a prompt if you're not getting what you want from one of them. In this particular case, I want to find an easy to follow, simple YouTube video that shows how to set up Google Authenticator that is ideal for older audiences. This is something that I want to be able to share with my customers. And so I want to find a video that's really easy and simple to follow. And you might be thinking, well, Rick, you're actually introducing some bias into this particular prompt by asking it for something that's for older audiences. Maybe it's not fair to assume that older audiences are going to struggle with this more. But you have to remember, these large language models have been trained based on the internet, and they have inherent biases because of that. So we just have to bear that in mind. And you can demonstrate those biases if you really want to. But I'm not going to go into that here. I just wanted to mention that. So I'm going to submit this prompt to Copilot, and let's see what it comes up with. And here we can see the results. It's found a good video on YouTube. It's showing us the YouTube video right here inside of Copilot. And the reason that I used Copilot in this case is I just simply liked the results that I got with Copilot better than the results I got anywhere else. I could easily submit this exact same prompt to Gemini, but you can see here, this is giving me a video on Google Authenticator recovery and how to restore it. That's not what I was looking for. And this is a great example of one of these AI tools giving me a result that is significantly superior to another. And so really what you want to do is get comfortable with using multiple tools. And if you're not getting what you want from one of them, you might want to try a different one. In this video, I'll demonstrate how to use ChatPDF. ChatPDF is kind of similar to ChatGPT. The big difference is, instead of querying a bunch of information that's available on the internet, we are going to import our own PDF file, and then ChatPDF will allow us to query the contents of that PDF file using a chatbot. So here on your screen, you can see the URL for ChatPDF. And so to get started, I'm just going to drag and drop a PDF file from my computer into this area here. It's going to process the content within that file, and it's going to allow me to query it. And so here I've typed in a query that I want ChatPDF to execute against the contents of this PDF file. I'm just going to say, what are some of the benefits of microservices? And it works very similar to ChatGPT. Now I'm using a relatively small PDF, and you can see this is very fast. It came back with an answer here. The same principles that you learned in ChatGPT are going to apply here. So you want to think about the nature of your prompts and give it high quality prompts to get high quality information back. Now, if you want to use this particular tool, and I'm just going to hit the trash can here to get rid of this chat that I created. And in this demo, I'm using the free version of ChatPDF, which allows us to do PDF files that are up to 120 pages and 10 megabytes. And I can do a maximum of 3 PDFs per day and a maximum of 50 prompts per day. If you need to go above and beyond that, you can subscribe to the Plus plan, which allows you to do PDFs of up to 2,000 pages that are up to 32 megabytes. And you can do 50 PDFs per day and 1,000 prompts. So that's how we can use ChatPDF to import PDFs and then use a simple chatbot to query the contents. Now it's time to try some of these techniques yourself. And as you can see here, I've provided another written lab exercise that basically follows exactly what you just saw in the videos. But what I would also encourage you to do as you're working through this lab is try some things that are more related to your own organization. What kind of technical support problems do you have to answer? And is that information available, for example, on your company's website? Because if it is, there's a very good chance that ChatGPT or Gemini will be able to provide the ideal answer. The other thing that I would suggest is try playing with Copilot. Try playing with Gemini. Try using these different offerings and see which one gives you the ideal results.
In this section of the course, Rick is going to give you information to help you and your team learn how to train your AI tools and use different tones. Before you go to that, I want you to think about how you want to be treated as a customer. What tone do you want people to use with you? What tone, when people use it, makes you angry, makes you sad, disappoints you, really gets you worked up, and so forth? Keep in mind that it takes time to train these AI tools, and then also it takes time to train humans to change the way that they use different tones. What's going to be key here is for you to decide, okay, what do we want to aim for? What's acceptable and what's not acceptable? Just thinking about that is going to make it easier for you and your team to use these tools, train them, and then again, get to where you want to be, which is delivering better customer service faster and easier.
In this video, we'll learn how we can influence the tone of the responses that we get back from ChatGPT and other similar solutions. And so as we're dealing with sensitive situations, the tone of the responses that we provide to customers is critically important. So for example, let's imagine a scenario where we have a customer that's asking for a refund and an additional credit as well, due to a mistake that we made. Now, we have the ability to give them a refund, but we cannot provide them with an additional credit. Now let's ask ChatGPT to draft an email for us. And as you can see here, I'm using the free version of ChatGPT, version 3.5. And I'm going to simply provide the prompt that we just went over, asking them to draft an email. And you can see here, generally the tone of this email is going to be apologetic. We're apologizing to the customer. We're mentioning the fact that we can provide a full refund, and we're informing them that we cannot provide the additional credit. And this email looks great. Now, we do have the ability to change the tone of this email. And so it's probably pretty much perfect as is. But let's just imagine that we wanted to change the tone. So initially, I would characterize the tone of this email as apologetic. Let's change it to friendly. And you can see it just modifies the way that the email is written. It approaches it from a much more friendly and casual perspective. And we can play with these different tones to adjust to the way that these emails are written. Now I'm going to change the tone to one of a formal and legal communication. And ChatGPT is going to take that under advisement and change the tone of this email to match the tone that we're asking for. So I just wanted to show you a couple examples of kind of playing with the tone of what is getting generated by ChatGPT. And this also works with Copilot and Gemini. And we just want to make sure that we're finding the right tone to deal with our customers. If our branding, if our marketing is typically casual and friendly, then that's the tone that we want in our customer service. But if we want something more formal or more apologetic, we can ask ChatGPT and it will change the tone according to our preferences. Okay, so now it's time to complete our next lab exercise. This is going to be all about generating customer communications with the right tone, and the lab is going to closely mirror what you just saw in some of our videos. So we're going to submit a prompt with a certain tone, and then we are going to change the prompt and use a different tone. Again, though, I would encourage you to think about your own business and possibly try out some different prompts that more align with what you're actually going to use this for. There's also some exercises where you're going to use ChatGPT to generate emails and you're going to change the tone of those emails. And then finally, you can train customer service standards by interacting with ChatGPT version 4. If you do not have ChatGPT version 4 and you don't want to pay for it, then you can use Gemini for this final part of the lab. In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily create AI-generated videos using Lumen. And there are customer service applications for this. So this is primarily something that you might use for marketing or social media, but there are customer service applications as well. For example, maybe you've got new features of a product or some new enhancement that you're making or some change to the platform that your customers are accustomed to. Well, if you can make a quick video and share that with customers who have problems, that might be extremely helpful. Or maybe you've got a whole group of customer service reps and you want to create a quick training video to explain some new policy or new product to them. Any one of those situations is a great use case for Lumen. And I think you'll be amazed at how easy and how cool these videos are. So we're going to create a video about simplified AI training with Awesome Leader. And what is the video for? We're going to use this for social media, about how Awesome Leader provides free and paid workshops about AI, and about additional resources and learning materials that we provide. Okay, so this is going to be what we're going to use. These are the prompts that we're going to use to create this video. And so I've already logged into Lumen here, and within Lumen, I'm going to create a new video. And you can choose the template for your video. I'm going to choose this first one here called Origin. And this is the template that I'm going to use, but there's different templates that you can use for different feels and a different way that you want the video to look. And so I'm just going to select text on media, and I'm going to tell it, what do I want my video to be about? Simplified AI training with Awesome Leader. I'm going to outline what I want to have within this video. And so I'm just going to go ahead and paste those key bullet points in here. And now that I've got the outline put together, I'm just going to click Compose Script. And it's now going to go ahead and create a script for the video. It's going to automatically create a script for me. And so this is exactly what the video is going to say. And I can make changes to this if I want to. But I'm just going to go ahead and click Continue here. And here's where I can make changes to my script. So maybe, for example, I want to make a change to this second sentence. And maybe I want to add a new block, or maybe I just want to edit the text that's in there to have some additional content, right? So yeah, I can make changes to the script here. Then I can click Convert to Video. And now it's going to put together a video for me. And it really boggles my mind how easy this process is. And the content that it creates is actually very good. So let's take a look at the video that it's created for us and preview it. I'm just going to click the play button here to preview. And you can preview it one section at a time here, or you can preview the entire thing at once. So let's click on the top here and go to preview. And as you can see here, it's produced a very high quality video detailing everything that was included in my outline. I didn't even have to write a script. I didn't have to film anything. It just did all the work for me. And if we go back to some of those scenarios I was mentioning, maybe we need to train our customer service staff on some change to a policy. If I could just quickly summarize that policy in Lumen, I can very easily create a video and distribute that video to all of my customer service reps. So there are numerous applications in customer service that we could use Lumen for.